it was discussed in other places, but it helped me clarify difference between vector and raster.
Right. Vector and raster. And then Noy, what about you? What do you remember from yesterday's session?
How to familiarizing the workspace or interface, then how to create artboard.
Yeah. Although yung create artwork, advanced reading na yun. Advanced watching yun eh, no? But yes, about navigating no, within the Adobe Illustrator program. Okay, what about Tofi? Tofi?
For me, the difference between vector and raster.
Okay, great. And Romel?
That's the idea now.
Okay, good, good. Thank you. And Romel?
Yeah, for me, two things. CMYK is the way to go, especially if it's printed or online or digital.
Yeah.
And then one last thing is always have your disclaimer, because
Yeah.
everyone will always have a different gadget or equipment.
Okay, great. And good that you mentioned that, guys. So I posted like 2 examples of a disclaimer. No, you can modify it if you want to, especially when you start receiving projects na the clear output that's required is for print. Okay, so even actually for online posting or online artwork, you may want to modify it a bit. Kasi either way, di ba guys? Iba-iba, you use different equipments, different devices to view an artwork. Okay, so there might be some slight changes or differences in terms of the colors that's being shown. Okay, so again, it's in stream. I think I posted this last night, if not this morning. No, last night. Okay. All right. So today, what we're gonna cover naman is the ways that you can organize your artwork or the elements of in your artwork, as well as different ways of viewing your artwork. No, but before we do that, we'll proceed to creating artboards. So, how many of you have actually watched the videos? Could you indicate if you have watched it in the chat group? Sabi mo lang yes, no, para I'll know lang if we need to spend time here.
Yes, me.
Yes, I know Tofi. Si Tofi nagsubmit na nga eh. Si Enzo, no, okay, not yet. No, yes, okay. Let's take the majority. Romel, yes, but still want to spend time. Okay, all right. All right, so I think it's 7:11. No? So it's about 10 minutes, guys. Let's take about 10 minutes to watch the video. So that's creating artboards. Really nice video. We're not gonna do the exercise that's listed here, okay? Or at least what the video is teaching, okay? But that's a good practice, no? Offline, you can do this, no? This zip file that you see on my screen. That's in line with what was demonstrated in all 3 videos. But we'll have a different exercise altogether. And we'll do that after watching the video. No? So take 10 minutes. It's 7:12. So I'll give you until 7:22 to finish all the videos. And then let's all come back and then discuss what we have watched. And then I'll do a quick demonstration, then I'll allow you to practice. So there's it's more on customizing naman the artboards because you've already done the artboards here. So we'll do that no after my demo. All right. So you can already go to your Google Classroom. Christine Maylor, do you already have access to the Google Classroom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, good. So
Meron
it's on your, okay, my lord. So just turn off your webcams and then start watching the videos. Then let's all go back at around 7:22, 7:23.
It's more 3 videos, right?
Correct. It's all 3 videos. And it's numbered, no? So meron siyang 1, S1, and then merong S1, episode 1, 2, and then 3. So sunod-sunod siya. Okay. All right. So I think we can start. Maylard, I think we should be good. May review naman tayo eh. All right.
Okay na po.
Okay, cool. All right. So let me just, share my screen now. So, and then let's talk about what you guys have actually watched now. So all 3 videos are simply talking about how you maximize the use of the artboard. So in the first place, what are artboards? We had a quick introduction yesterday, diba? And I also asked you to do an exercise, which is simply creating 4 artboards using the document window panel, or the new document window, right? So what are artboards? Ano ba ang benefit? What's the benefit of using the artboards? Noy?
Ito ma'am yung work area. Parang ang maganda kasi dito sa Illustrator, yung sabi mo ma'am hanggang 1,000 artboards. Tapos kung may ginagawa kang project, halimbawa para lang sa same lang din yung content. Nandun na yung mga designs mo. Kumbaga, lalagay mo na lang siya lahat.
Right. So the advantage of the artboards is you are able to do multiple layouts with the same set of elements. Okay. So very, very useful siya, especially for new clients or upcoming entrepreneurs who are actually slowly building their branding, no? So very, very useful, guys. And also if you have repeat services, no? Ibig sabihin, if let's say a client already trusted you with the initial project and would be willing to continue the relationship, so it means that that same client will always keep coming back to you and then ask you to modify certain layouts, just simply by changing some of the content, like yung articles or promos na gusto nilang i-place sa poster na nagawa mo na in the first place. Then this is maximizing the use of this particular feature. Okay. Now, based dun sa video that we actually watched, no? So all 3 videos, there are a number of ways to view, no? You can change the views, how you view the artboards. Give me 2 ways of viewing the artboard based on the videos that you watch. Maylord.
Yung pag-zoom out or pag-fit ang window.
Correct. So one is zooming out. So how do we zoom out, Maylord?
View and pwede rin pong control plus.
Yeah, this one, no? This one. Pero hindi pa tayo nag-introduce niyan eh. Pero in the at least in the videos that we watched, okay, there are a number of ways that that you can view, no, or change the views. And you go to the view menu, okay? In the view menu, you have the option to zoom in a particular section. You can zoom out, okay? You can fit just one artboard, okay? And it will be the active artboard. Okay. Now, nung minention ko yung active artboard, what is the indicator na it's actually an active artboard? Based sa video, John.
When you see the parang dashed lines around the artboard?
When you see the dashed lines, but you don't see it here. So where is it? So, yeah.
In the lower left, may indicate na parang yung artboard 1. Lower left sa UI.
Okay. So here, lower left, this one.
Yeah.
You're talking about this one? Okay. So yes, on the status bar, it will tell you it's artboard 1. So it's the first artboard. But when you go view and then fit to artboard, kung ano yung active, which is here, you see it's artboard 1. You also see a very thin black line. No? A very thin black line. If you compare it with the other artboards, wala siya ng black line na yun, and I don't think it's very visible. Ayan o, there's a black line. Okay. Nakakatawa si Illustrator, Adobe. Very thin yung line na yun, but it means it's selected, okay? The dashed lines that you're talking about, it only appears if you have the artboard tool selected, okay? That's where you see the dashed line, okay? All right. Now, if we are talking about the order of the artboards, okay, how do we know which artboard is which? Okay, so when you have the artboard tool selected, okay, this was not mentioned in the video, but at saka, well, it wasn't even highlighted, but it was visible. But you see also the artboard name, okay, so meron 01, it means it's the first one, so it will appear as number 1 here, okay, and then artboard 1. Pag sinabing artboard 1, you won't see the name because that's the parang default. It's like a default artboard name. So it's going to be artboard 1. You have artboard 2. No? There. You see artboard 3. And when using the artboard tool, when you select the second one, notice that it changes to number 2. Okay. Now, if you have multiple artboards, guys, sometimes it's you want to get even more organized. And one of the videos mentioned about naming the artboard. So how do we name an artboard? Tofi.
We can change the name of the artboards from the properties panel.
Correct. So if you have the artboard tool selected, okay. Kasi kapag ito ang gagamitin natin, no? If you have a different active tool selected, okay. Notice what happens in your properties panel. Okay. This is how it's gonna look like. But if you have this artboard tool selected and it changes, automatic na dun ka sa editing mode. Okay, so your properties panel will display the artboard editing mode where you can actually rename the artboard here. Okay, so another way that was not mentioned in the video where you can rename the artboard is just simply clicking on the name on the upper left hand side of the artboard, and this will appear, this window will appear where you can actually retype it. No? Again, from day one, no, I repeatedly mentioned that to do one thing in Illustrator, there are multiple ways, right? So, hindi lang yung parang laging nandun ka sa properties and then you change the artboard name here. No, there are multiple ways of doing it. So, this is 1. This is 2. Double click on the artboard name or label. And this appears, and you can rename it here. Okay, and then another way, which I'm more used to because properties panel is it only became available in the latter versions. I'm so used to the control bar. So if you'll notice, because I have the artboard tool selected on your control bar, it also allows you to name it. So look at this, it's called artboard. So all options that you can actually use with the artboard feature are here. You have this selected, kasi may dashed line like what John mentioned. You can resize it to legal size, okay, or A4, all right, or letter, okay. You can change the orientation as well here, no? You don't even have to go to the properties panel because it's all on your control bar. So you have, you can add a new artboard. So when you mouse over this plus sign, it says new artboard. You can also delete an artboard, okay? And then you can rename it here, no? You can also specify width and height. At saka location niya in the This space. What do you call this space? It was mentioned in the video. Enzo, do you remember in the video? This was mentioned.
It's a canvas.
Yes, Christine, thank you. Call a
Thank you,
friend
Christine.
pala ito. Ayan. There was help from Christine. Thank you. So, it's the canvas. So, this gray area is again called the canvas. This is non-printable area. No? So, normally for users, no, the active users of Illustrator, they would put all their elements here. Okay? If they start creating artwork, sometimes if you want to trace something, if you want to draw something without messing up your layout in a single artboard, they would start drawing in the canvas area because it's non-printable. When you save it, when you print it, anything that's on the canvas area are non-printable. Okay? All right. So what else did we learn out of that video? So we mentioned zooming, no? So we have zoom in, zoom out. We've covered fit artboard in window. If you have multiple artboards and you want to fit all of them in your screen, then you choose the second one, which is fit all in window. Again, when you go to every single menu, okay, and then there are like commands that you see there. Some of the commands would show this on the right side, which means it's a shortcut key. Okay, so you can make use of the shortcut key. All right. So what else did we learn out of that video, guys? Okay. All right. So it introduced us to this tool, Artboard. We learned about resizing. So how do we resize? Okay. So let's see this first artboard. We want to resize it to 2 inches by 3 inches. How do we do that? Noy?
Ma'am, yung nandun sa may toolbar.
Okay.
Upper
Control
middle.
bar?
Yung sa may toolbar, ma'am, sa taas. Dun sa toolbar na. Yan, ma'am. Sa gitna.
Okay. And then what do I do? If I want 2 inches by 3 inches, what do I do?
2 inches by 3 inches. Wait lang. Saan ba yun? Or properties na lang, ma'am.
Sige. Try natin. Okay. So I closed kasi the properties panel. So let me make it appear again. Okay. So how do I change it?
Yung width niya tsaka yung height, tapos mampalitan mo siya into inches yung value.
Okay, good. So what is my default unit of measurement? Taking a look at this, guys. What is my default unit of measurement? John?
Points.
Points, okay. So how do I make it 2 inches by 3 inches? Can it be done?
Siguro by typing in IN.
Yeah, correct. So I just type in 2 inches for width and then 3 inches for the height. Okay. In the past, guys, okay, why did I highlight that part? No? In the past, guys, kailangan mano-mano magko-convert ka. So from points to inches, inches to centimeters, just go, mag-google ka pa for conversion, no? But here, it intuitively recalculates for you. Okay? So even if your default of measurement, all right, is in points, okay? You may still type in inches, no? Values in inches, in centimeters, in millimeters, and that's it. Yeah. Okay, so those yes,
question.
Romel.
Yung sa constraint, like when you're changing, usually, di ba, pag constraint, it locks in your sizing, di ba? So here kasi it's crossed out. So it means freelance or freehand yung pag-sizing na. But if that's clicked on, it's controlled, di ba? You can't really just move one size or the other.
So if you click on it, so it maintains the width and the height. So if this is gonna be like 5 inches, there. So automatic, it will maintain the proportion naman for you. But if it's like this, as what you have mentioned, yes, freestyle siya. You can specify a different width values and then height values, magkaiba. Okay, so that's a good point. All right. Okay. So what else did we learn from that video? No, so there's a way to add now. So how do we add artboards, Christine? If I want to add a 5th artboard, how do I do that?
That artboard, I don't know what you call that. Where you
Here or on the toolbar, you mean?
toolbar? Yeah, the toolbar.
Okay, so I have to choose artboard tool, and then how do I add another artboard?
Drag it to the canvas and I guess select or something. Sorry.
Okay. So help a friend, call a friend, maybe Maylord. Maylord,
Click and drag po.
click and drag. So click and drag. So if I click and drag, I'm just moving it. Pero how do I add a new artboard?
I mean, click and drag on the empty canvas.
Click and drag. Okay, so click and drag on an empty canvas. Correct. So that's manually creating, no? Freestyle na yan. Manually creating the artboard. Correct. Okay. Now, you may also click on the buttons. Yung plus buttons. Okay. So here and here. Okay. And it will remember the dimensions or the size of the last artboard. All right. Another way of adding an artboard is if, let's say, this artboard 6, you want to duplicate. How do we duplicate? Let's say you already have like elements here, may mga basic shapes tayo, and you want to duplicate this, okay, including the artboard. How do we do that? That was demonstrated in the video. And so, who's that? Tofi?
Yes.
Tofi, go.
Selecting the artboard, including the
Okay.
objects inside, then hold Alt and drag in the canvas.
Okay, so hold Alt and then drag. Correct. Okay. So for Windows, no, you can duplicate by selecting the artboard. All the elements inside. So all artwork inside that existing artboard will also copy. Okay. Hold down Alt for Windows and then Option for Mac. Okay. All right. Now, when you have it like this, guys, okay, look at this, no? This is overlapping another artboard. And when I drag it, nasasama to. So be careful, ha? Be careful on this. Okay? And the only way to separate this set of artboards, these elements, no, is going back to the original selection tool, which is ito lang, yung V. Select all this and then drag here. All right. Okay? So,
Pwede bang undo?
oo, pwede rin naman, undo. Tapos ulitin mo lang ulit yung duplicate. That's okay. All right. So, okay. So, just one last thing, no? So, let me close this real quick. Okay. So, for the artboard tool, guys, you can resize the bounding box. Okay, using the corners, no? Okay, resize. You can move around an artboard. All right. So yun yung mga important things that you need to remember. All right. So questions so far about this artboards? None. Okay. So let me just revert back to the original one. Okay, so yesterday, what I asked you guys to do is create a file that has 4 artboards, right? So our next exercise is you guys will start modifying the same file, all right? So Let me stop sharing my screen real quick. Okay. And then I'm sharing my Google Classroom. So under creating artboards, no, there's a PDF file there. That's for our exercise. All right. So we skip the first. Okay. This number 1 and 2. Let's skip that. So the first step would always be opening that same file that you have created yesterday, which has 4 artboards. Okay, so 4 artboards. What we're going to do, guys, is, and you can take note now, even in a notepad. Okay, what you need to do is, 1, you need to keep 3 out of the 4 artboards. So you have to delete 1 of the 4 artboards. Kasi 4 yun eh. So you only need 3. Okay, and those 3 artboards, okay, 1 is for ano yung steps niya? Ayan, okay, ito. Number 3 tayo. So, number 3. So, out of the 4 artboards, you delete 1 artboard. You keep 3. Each of these artboards, you'll have to rename. 1 is logo. Okay, 1 is logo. 2 is poster. Okay, 2 is poster. And then 3 is calling card. Okay, so 1 is poster. 1 is logo, 2 is poster, and then 3 is calling card. Okay. Now, all the artboards that you have created yesterday was in what? A4 yata or letter, right? So in either one of those sizes. So you'll have to also resize each of these 3 artboards. Your logo should be 5 inches by 5 inches. Okay, your poster should be A4. Okay, and then what was the other one? Your calling card should be 3 inches width and 2 inches height. All right. And then save the file in a different file format. File name. So save the file as name_artboards. Okay. No need to turn the files in Google Classroom. I'll just take a look at your screens. Okay. Any questions so far? So again, your objective is you should have 3 artboards. Based on yesterday, no? The idea is you're gonna edit the artboards. 3 artboards. 1 is logo, 5 inches by 5 inches. Second is your poster, which is A4 size. And then your third is the calling card, which is 3 inches by 2 inches. Okay. Now you may use let me just share my screen now. Again, what we have demonstrated, what we have talked about, what you have seen in the video, the things that you have learned there should be applicable in this exercise. All right. Okay. All right. Questions so far, guys? So time check, it's 7:48. Let's have about, I think it should take about 5 to 7 minutes. No, 7 minutes to do that. Okay, so please, Tofi, you're good, sweetheart. I just saw your submission, so you can take a break if you want to. But at least you were able to do that, so that's good. Thank you. You did it in advance. So start sharing your screens, guys, so I can take a look at what you guys are doing. All right, so I see Ramel. So 3 artboards, guys, okay? Up to 7:55. Very good, guys. So I'll just also type the ano. So basically, I'm already preparing you for your main project because you can use the same file, guys. Because it's already set up that way. Calling card, poster, and logo. And for your main project. Okay, great. John, I see yours. Very good. For actually I forgot, no. For the poster, it's A4. It's okay whether it's landscape, yung in terms of orientation. It's okay if you choose landscape or portrait. But again, this is already in preparation for your main project. Okay, that design brief that we talked about yesterday. You can slowly work on this, no, as we move along. All right. Okay, good, Maylord, you're done. Let me stop your screen share. Romel is done. Good. I'll stop your screen share. So very fast lang, no? Enzo, good. Okay. Make sure, guys, that you save the file, no? Save the file. John is also good. Good. Christina, I didn't see you share your screen. I'm not sure if you're on the road or something.
It's not just my computer is lagging. My brain is lagging too.
What time is it there? Oh, it's early in the morning, no, in the US.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. It's zip. I guess I'm in the right place. It's in a zip file, and I don't have a program to unzip it, so I'm working on that part. So don't worry.
Okay, no worries. Maybe after the session we can extend a bit, just so I can get you up to speed, no?
Okay.
And don't worry, I'll try to upload the recording as well from day one. Probably tomorrow. I'll try to get that ready for you so that you can take some time later in the day, your time.
Thank you.
Go back to it. All right, no worries. No problem. That's yeah. What time is it there? It's
7:54, but it's just starting to have some daylight.
oh, okay. Right. Okay, good job now, Tofi. All right, good. All right, so any questions so far, guys? None?
Ma'am, wait lang. Nawala ako.
Anyari? Noy. Okay.
Naka-share screen pa ako, ma'am. Tama.
Hindi na. Can you share your screen ulit?
Sorry, ah.
Sure.
Aha. Wait lang. Yung artboard 1 ko nawawala.
Ay, na-delete. I think you deleted it by mistake. So you can add one more. Just add one more.
Ano dito?
Yeah, you use the right. Yeah. Okay, good. Sige.
Size ko is 5 inches. Ay,
Erase mo muna. Yan. Okay.
tama?
Yes. Alright. Good.
Tama?
Yes.
Tapos yung second is A4.
A4, correct. So, tama na yung A4 mo. Artboard 2. Yan.
Okay.
Okay. And then yung isa mong artboard is 2 inches by 3 inches.
2 inches. Sorry.
Erase mo muna. Yan.
Two inches.
Okay, very good.
Tapos, rename.
Pero, yes, rename. Correct. Sige.
Logo.
Yan. Logo. Yan.
Poster.
Erase mo muna yung artboard. Yan. Okay.
And
Calling card.
calling card.
Ewan ko kung calling card pa talagang tawag ngayon. Hindi ba business card?
Business card na lang.
Business card. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Tapos arrange.
Yes, that's it na, sir. Ang ano mo lang, like itong, let me annotate na. So, your business card, actually, dapat landscape. So, change
Okay.
mo na lang.
Okay.
Ayan. Okay. Good, good. Alright. Any questions so far? I'll stop your screen share now, ha? Any
Okay.
questions? Make sure you save the file. So again, you can use the same file for your main project. All right. So we're done with creating artboards now. Any questions, guys, before we proceed to viewing artwork?
Ms. Kat,
Yes.
is there a way to group artboards?
No.
Okay.
Bilis ano? Bilis na sagot. No. No. But, no. Wala talaga. But there is, yung group, that grouping feature is indeed available in Illustrator, but more on the objects that you create.
Like layers?
Yes. Yes. Layers and objects. When it comes to Photoshop, if you guys are used to Photoshop, Photoshop is layer-based, right? So every time you apply an effect, you use layers to do that, right? But here, and you have the history panel. So you can like undo at a certain point, no? You can save a history of a particular image, and then you can revert back to it anytime. Okay, as long as you have your history panel set up. I can't recall if that was taught in Photoshop Essentials, but yeah. In Illustrator, it behaves differently when it comes to editing because editing in Illustrator is object-based. And once we get to tomorrow's session, you'll have a better understanding now of what I'm actually talking about. Kasi kahit after 2 years, there are certain changes that you can actually make pa or revert back to its original form. No, when it comes to drawing in Illustrator, okay, it's not based on memory of the computer, history, hindi. May mga certain effects that you can always undo anytime, even if years have already passed. Okay, so yeah. So in creating artboards, there was already an introduction to how we view artboards, no? May mga, we go to the view menu and all that stuff. So we'll talk about the other ways then of viewing an artboard, okay? So I'll walk you through the viewing artboard guide, okay? So I'll do this as a demonstration. Again, you have the PDF file that you can always go back to. And also the recording, as much as I can, I'll try to upload it real time. But bear with me because I do all the edits. I do all the digital certificates and I do all the back end for online. Okay, so there. Right. So we'll go through this, guys. Okay, so different ways of viewing the artwork in Illustrator. So let me share my Adobe Illustrator again. Okay. So again, guys, I speak fast, but I'll keep on repeating myself. Bear with me or call my attention if I speak too fast because I've had a number of bottles of Coke. Okay. All right. So viewing. So initially, we've already demonstrated yung zoom in, zoom out, fit artboard in window, and fit all. Okay. And we got introduced to one tool. Okay. Actually, two tools. No. Artboard tool and the selection tool. Okay. So artboard. Okay. Now I'll show naman the other two tools. No. So I'll tear this off para I can further emphasize the use of both. Okay. So when you click on the zoom tool, okay. So zoom, ibig sabihin, it will zoom in, zoom out. Okay. So you have a plus sign on the cursor. It means that it will zoom in. Okay. You can click. No, there are two ways of using this. So you can, well, three. You can click on an area and it zooms on that area. You can click drag, all right, and that's how it behaves. Okay, so you click drag going downwards, it zooms in. Okay, you click going moving upward, it zooms out. So your cursor even is showing differently. So ngayon may minus sign. So ibig sabihin it will zoom out. Okay, zoom in, zoom out. All right. Now, if you just want to zoom out this section, no, hold down the Alt on your keyboard. Okay, hold down Alt, and then notice your cursor will change. Okay, ang key dito sa Illustrator is you always have to be mindful what your cursor looks like, because it will tell you what tool you're actually using and what it's going to do. Okay, some tools behave that way, no? So may mga certain tools that uses the Alt key as an option, no, to do the opposite. Okay, so hold down Alt minus sign na yung cursor mo, so it's gonna zoom out. All right, you can also do that. Okay, and then when you double click here. Okay, what it does is it goes back to 100%. So you can take a look at the status bar, and it will show you now you're at 100% magnification. Okay, so yeah, let's say it's showing us 25%, and even on top, no, on the document tab. So this is called the document tab. It will show you the file name, and then you zoom yung magnification level, which is 25%. Okay? All right. So when you double click again, no, naging 100% siya. Okay. Now the hand tool. Okay. Maylord, refresher. What is a hand tool? What does it do?
It moves the canvas.
Correct. So this allows you to move around the canvas, guys. Okay. Now, what's great about the hand tool, and ito, lagi ko itong ginagamit, guys. So, if I'm using a selection tool, so I click this, okay, so it's selected, alright. And then I want to temporarily move, switch to the hand tool to move the canvas up, okay. What I do is, from this tool, from any tool, no, I can hold down the space bar and it will give you the hand tool. Hold down space bar and then yan, you can move it around. Click drag ang motion mo using the mouse. Okay, click drag. And then just release the space bar and you go back to the active or current tool. Okay, so again, hold down space bar. It gives you the hand tool. Then release the space bar, then it goes back to the active tool. Okay? Alright. Okay. Alright. Now, how else, what are the other viewing modes, no, that you can make use of? So on your toolbar, guys, no, down here, no, there's an option that says, or a button that's called change screen mode. Okay, so let me close this. So you can click here and then you have several options. No, right now we're on normal screen mode. Okay, so pag full screen mode with menu bar, this is how it looks like. So nawala, yung active document lang ang naka-display. Okay, then you can go back here and then full screen mode. You lose the tools on the left side, the menu on the top, control bar, and even the panels. Okay, hit escape button to revert back to the normal screen mode. Okay, and if you are presenting, okay, to your client, no, if let's say may Zoom meeting ka or Google Meet with a client, you can also shift to presentation mode, and this is how it looks like. What it's doing is displaying one artboard at a time, and you can use the left and right arrows, no, to change from one artboard to another. Okay, and if you want to go back again to the normal screen, then hit the escape button. Okay, question so far? None. All right. So in terms of shifting then, no, it's also here because each artboard is named. Then you also get to see, using this artboard navigation, you also get to see the artboard name. Okay, there. All right. So yeah. So you have screen modes. Questions, guys? None?
Wait lang, ma'am. Kasi yung sa screen share mo, parang part of the screen share mo, parang naka-block.
Naka-block?
I don't know if anyone else can see it.
Yeah, same here. Well, blue yung akin, pero
Yeah. Ito ba yung nasa
wait.
lower right?
Here.
Yeah, right. At saka, okay na.
Okay na?
Okay na po.
Screen
So,
lagging.
should I, okay. So, should I do it again?
No.
Kala ko ganun talaga.
I think okay lang. I have a
Okay
question.
na. Nuggets ka na.
Okay. Well, you can try this din naman, no? So again, you may want to check the screen modes, no? You have 4 types. You have presentation, normal screen mode, full screen mode with menu bar, and full screen mode. Good. Okay. And then, pero did you guys get to see like what happened when I was using the hand tool? The hand tool, the zoom tool.
Hand tool, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and also the zoom tool.
Yes po.
Yes,
Ah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Alright.
Ako,
This
okay.
sorry, I have a question, although not really related to the Zoom.
Yes.
If let's say I'm looking for a particular artboard, is there a way I can search it? Let's say I have like 500 or 300 artboards.
So what are you going to search for? Okay, could you give me an example?
Like let's say I have an artboard titled Mountain.
Mountain. Okay.
Like let's say I'm trying to look for that particular artboard out of 100 or so. Is there a way I can search for it?
No. You can use the artboards panel, but there's no like search engine.
Okay.
You can like type yung word and
Okay lang.
you'll have to But I doubt if you're gonna, realistically speaking, I doubt if we're gonna have like 500 artboards in a file.
Kaya nga, up to 1,000 pwede.
Oh nga, up to 1,000. Pero honestly, kailan ka kaya gagawa ng 500 artboards?
Baka isang dekada na kayo ng client mo nun.
Yeah, but it's a bit of a risk then if you're gonna keep everything throughout the years in a single file. That's one thing that you'll have to consider. So
what's the best practice of how many artboards should you just maintain from your practice?
from my practice, I've never even gotten up to 10. Never.
Ano yung point ng 1,000?
Oo nga eh, wala talagang point ang 1,000. Unless talagang pipilit mo na you want to create a book just using Illustrator. Which doesn't even make sense because like page numbering is not automated in Illustrator. But it is in InDesign. So it doesn't really make sense. But it's there. At least it's there. But for me, normally, probably maximum about six layouts. And it's for a food stall portfolio. For a franchise, kasi it's required by Francorp. So maximum na of 6 so far ang nagawa ko sa Illustrator. But best practice, guys, if let's say, Tofi has started a business. Okay, so definitely logo, business card, and social media post. Okay, so yan yung first. Then slowly, mag-aabot yan na merong cover, Facebook cover page, no, Instagram, okay, and all couple of things. Then that's good. But if Tofi is to like create something that's seasonal, then you may want to create a separate file altogether and then just copy the things there. It's a case-to-case basis, guys. Depende kung ano how you want your files to be organized for a particular client. Is it by poster? Is it by theme? Diba? Is it by flyer? Is it by type of media? Is it for online alone? And then there's also for print output. No? So it depends on you. So you have to decide on that. Okay, what will be the best way to do that? Especially yung mga those kinds of practices or those considerations are more in line with workflow efficiency. So how is it going to be faster for you to create something for a client? Okay, so yeah. All right, but it's there. Okay. But good, actually we should request Adobe to have kung ang feature is 1,000 artboards, no, dapat meron silang search engine. But no, wala tayong search engine. Best way would be using the artboards panel. And here also, which was not discussed in the videos, no, in the past when there wasn't any properties panel yet, then this is where we rely on in terms of organizing the artboards. You can also rename it here. Ayan. On top of the control bar, on top of the actual artboard tool. Yeah. So you can also rename it here. You can also get the artboard options window open using the artboards panel. Okay. So again, in Illustrator, there are multiple ways to do one thing. All right. Good question. So we have something in the chat group. Where can I find the tour? Okay, the tour file. Christine, the tour file is from Getting Started. Let me just quickly switch to my Google Classroom. Okay, so the Tour 1 file, Christine, you can download that from the workspace, no? Under Getting Started with AI, the workspace. You can get the file there.
Thanks, found it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Any questions, guys? None? All right. So, another thing that we can also view, no? So let me share my screen again. All right. Okay. So we're done with this, no? So viewing elements. All right. So we'll actually need the two files, no? So you guys already have the Tour 1 file. Then you'll actually need the zooming.ai file. So I'll walk you guys through this. Any questions so far? None? Wala ah. Okay. Alright. So we'll start here. Okay. So let me close this real quick. Alright. Okay. Now, there are 3 buttons that you see on the left side. No? This is already a quick introduction to drawing. Okay. So when I have shapes, we have shape tools. Again, we will go back to this tomorrow. But for the purpose of the demonstration, I'll use it. Okay. So I have rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon, star, and then the line. All right. So when I create, just observe how I create the shapes. Okay.
Miss Kat,
So this,
Yeah.
iba yata po yung nasa screen.
Oo nga eh, iba yung screen.
dami ko na nagawa. Sorry naman. Okay. So, so here, sige, I have to do it again. Okay. So, just for the purpose of this demonstration, I'll just start drawing something. Okay. So, this is a quick introduction to drawing. Okay. So, I'll choose the rectangle tool. Just observe what I do. So, I'll create 3 shapes. Alright, okay. So if we are talking about looking at the 3 shapes that I created, let's look at the stacking order. What can you tell me about the stacking order, Romel?
You can actually overlap each other multiple times. It's like layering.
Correct. Okay. So the first one is always going to be at the back. Diba? So, siya yung una sa stacking order. So, patong lang siya ng patong. Okay? Patong siya ng patong. Okay. So,
is there a way that you can rearrange the layering?
Yes, there is. And that's what we're also going to do today. Okay, so yeah. So, the first object will be the bottom part of the stacking order. No? Basta yung second, ayan. So, papatong siya. So, it goes on top of the first object that I created. And then the third object will be on top of the other 2. Okay? So, yan ang stacking order. That is the normal way of stacking or creating objects. Okay? That's the stacking order. So, there are 3 buttons that I'd like to introduce. By default, this is the first button that's selected because it's gray. Okay? So, this is draw normal. So again, this is normal stacking order. Okay. But if I have the second one selected, it says draw behind. Okay. So if I create the first object, this, normally, if you create the second object, it will go on top of the first object, right? But with this object, okay, selected, and you click on this button, okay, and then you create that second object, anong ginawa niya? Tofi?
Draw behind.
Correct. So it literally drew the shape behind that selected object. Ang key dito, guys, is you have to select the object. Because you're telling Illustrator, I want to draw behind this object. Okay? So you use this selection tool, select the object. So you're telling Illustrator, I want to draw behind this object. Okay. So, yeah. And then you click this, make sure this is selected, and then do that. Alright.
So kapag shy type siya.
Yeah. Or literally, si Illustrator will not know what's your reference to draw behind. Right? So, that's why the key is step 1, select the object. Okay. To make use of this. Alright. Okay. The third button here is the same thing, in terms of steps. Okay. First step is you tell Illustrator, I want to draw inside. Okay. So select the object using the selection tool, And then click on the third button, which is draw inside. And you'll notice what? Okay? What do we see? What is the indicator na draw inside siya? Maylord.
The dotted lines in the corners.
Correct. So there are like crop marks. Okay? So there are dotted lines sa corners. Okay? So that means that it will draw inside. So let me use naman a second shape tool, which is ellipse. Click, drag, and then click, drag. Okay. So now, describe to me what you see, Enzo.
Cheese.
What?
Mukha siyang cheese.
Walking cheese. Okay. So there are 3 circles, no, that are partially visible to your eyes, right? It's as if it's giving an imitation na it's drawn inside. No? There's 3 circles, right? Kasi, do you see the rest of the ellipse shape? No. Right? So, it's draw inside. For Photoshop users, ano ang tawag natin dito? Noy. There's something similar, di ba? An effect that's something similar. Romel.
The opacity, blending. I can't
Black layer.
Ako nakalimutan ko rin eh.
Oh, hi.
Maylord.
Lock layer po.
Ano yun?
Ilalak po yung layer.
Locking layer. Clipping mask, di ba?
Masking.
Yes, masking nga pala.
Yes pala yung sinasabi.
Ay nako, you need a refresher in Photoshop.
Mas madaling i-click na lang eh.
Yeah, it's clipping mask, right? It's like a cookie cutter. Diba? That's how it behaves. It's masking. Correct. Correct, Tofi. So, yan. But, so the same as how clipping masks behave in Photoshop, it's not permanent, right? So, you can still edit, right? A clipping, when it comes to masking, you can still edit it. Unless you flatten the image in Photoshop. But so same with Illustrator, guys. Now, even if it drew inside and you're not seeing the rest of the circles or the ellipse shape, they are still editable. Each of these elements, each of the circles, are still editable. Okay? And the way to do that is you only have to double click. I don't know if you noticed it. Again. I'll do it again now. I'll just double click on the circular shape. Ayan. This appears. Okay? Ito, lumalabas to. Christine, bear with me. Just tell me if when I'm speaking in Filipino, if you don't understand.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, so you can select this, no? And you can still edit it. No? So that is called a live effect. No? This kind of behavior is called a live effect. Meaning, you can still edit the very basic shape. Okay? So you're inside the clip group. Okay? When you double click outside, then it goes outside the group. Okay? So that is draw inside. So it's masking. Okay, it's masking. Questions so far?
Miss Kat, sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Let's say you have two existing objects, one circle, one rectangular. Is it possible, like let's say the circle's in front of the rectangular. Is it possible to move it behind the rectangular without drawing another one? Like it's an existing object now, you just want to move it behind another object.
Yes. You can arrange the stacking order. That's right. So you can, let me demonstrate that. Okay. Let's move to the second artboard now. So we're back to the draw normal. Okay, this is what you're trying to do, diba? If let's say this one you want to move behind, that's what you're wanting to do, right, Enzo?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so one is, okay, two ways. Actually, there's multiple ways. So one, select the object, right click. There is the command that's called arrange. Okay, so you can bring to front, forward, backward, back. Right, so it goes behind that object. Okay, so another way is, okay, so two, click here on your properties panel, click here, and then you can also have the same set of options. So it goes behind this. Okay. Three.
What?
Yes, Romel.
Sorry, I think follow up na lang. Dun sa, let's say, nag-embed ka na inside, you cannot move that kapag sa inside ka na ng object gumawa. So you can't move anything outside. You cannot move the circles out anymore of the square, or is there also a way to move it out?
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll cut it to remove it. Double click outside. So I go out of the clipping group and then paste it. Yeah.
Okay. Pero hindi siya click drag, cut.
Walang paste in place.
Ma'am, pwedeng ulit?
Oh, may paste in place. May paste in place din. Oh, ang dami. Baka na malito na kayo.
Hindi mo, mas madali.
Okay. All right. So here, no? So again, so we have a clipping, a clip group. Okay. Number one, lalo na if you're really into Illustrator, and it's really an exciting software, guys. So I hope you do some research, not being constrained in this class alone, because there's so many things that you can learn. All right. So number one is important. How do you know that it's a clip group? Okay. Kasi pwedeng, honestly, you can just create these shapes manually, right? But the rest of the shape, kumbaga, wala ka na talagang the rest of the circle. You can manually do this without even having to have a clip group. But how do you identify what it is? So make sure that when you select, your properties will update. No, it will say clip group. Okay. Another way of another indicator is on your control bar. It will also say it's clip group. Okay. On your layers panel, you already have about at least 4 objects that's created. Everything is created in a single layer. And it will also tell you that it's a clip group. Okay, so important yan, very important. Sometimes people get confused. Bakit ayaw gumula? How come this one is not moving? How come ganyan? You need to identify what type of object you're actually selecting. So here, you select the object, right? Take it out. All right. Double click outside. So you go out of the clip group. And then what Tofi was asking kung merong paste in place. Yes. So there's edit and then paste in place. Yeah. Okay. So it pastes it in place. Literally. Okay. All right. What was your question, Romel? Yun na yun, di ba?
Yeah, yun.
And then Tofi also, okay, I answered your question. Okay. So that's another way of doing it. Okay. And then Enzo, we talked about arranging, diba? Yung stacking order. If there are existing elements, objects in your artwork, and then you want to arrange the stacking order, we did right click and then choose arrange. We also tried the arrange here, right? Now, in your layers panel, you can also do the same. You can also arrange the stacking order in your layers panel here by click drag. Same as in Photoshop. No? Diba, you can move one layer to another. No? So you can do the same thing. Okay? All right. Questions so far? Guys, tell me if we're moving too fast, Kasi I speak fast.
Okay na, ma'am.
All right. Good.
We're loving the circles.
Loving the circles, yeah. Okay, so let me switch over. No? So this is what I just demonstrated. viewing elements, all right? So this one, we'll talk about this more tomorrow. We'll go back to this section, but this is what we've demonstrated. And then there are certain limitations, no, or restrictions. And let's say itong draw behind, no, it works for these scenarios, okay? So creating new layers, placing symbols, that's on D5. Day 4, day 5, that you get introduced to symbols. Placing files or importing files, alt drag, and paste in place, paste on all artboards is also an option. No? On top of yung paste in place. Okay. Draw inside. Yan. So you're already creating a clipping mask. So again, this is a good reading. And make sure that you do that offline, okay? And then in terms of previews, eto. So let me demonstrate this, okay? Previews. Right. This is new layers. We'll go back to the layers palette. Okay. All right. So previews. Okay. So when you create a shape, guys.
Miss Kat, yung view yata ulit.
Yeah.
Lagi na lang nangyayari sa atin to, Maylord. Okay. So, all right. So, in Illustrator now, when you create a shape, okay, what do you see? Describe to me what you see, Tofi. What is this?
A circle.
A circle. So, tell me more about the circle. Ganun talaga. Wait lang.
It's a very big circle, ma'am.
All right. So, wait. Let me change the color, no? Para it's a better demonstration. All right. So, what color is the circle, Tofi?
Red.
Red. And what is the color of the outline?
I think it's black.
Yes, it's black. It's too manipis pala. So, let me thicken it. All right. Okay. So, if we are talking about attributes, no, when you create shapes in Illustrator, the attributes that you would actually always refer to would be the stroke. No, that is the outline. Okay, that's you can apply color to it. You can even not apply color to it, and then you have the fill. Okay, now this is a normal view. Okay, when you go to outline, okay, what happened, John? So when I switched my preview to outline, what happened?
It basically hid all the lines and shapes except for the parang ano niya, parang skeleton, yung ano niya, yung basic lines niya, tawag yan.
Yeah, you lost all the attributes.
Yeah.
No? You are looking at the raw form of a vector image, right? So this is called the path. Okay, so what you will be creating in Illustrator, especially if you're drawing it from scratch using the tools available in Illustrator, then you are creating paths, and that's what vector is. It's a path. Okay, when you go back to the normal view, all right, then you get the attributes. Okay. A lot of times, guys, way back when I was a technical support engineer for Adobe, and we had a lot of clients calling and they're in panic. They pay $3 per minute, mind you. So the longer the call, the better in a call center environment. They pay $3 to just talk about issues that they encounter in any of the Adobe programs. So a lot of times I would receive calls, especially when it comes to Illustrator, that they're panicking, no? They're in panic, and then they would call and then they tell me na they keep losing or they lost all the colors. Lines lang ang nakikita. They try to reapply the colors and it doesn't work. And all I just tell, and all the calls, no, all I do to resolve the problem is tell them to do Control Y or Command Y. Okay, Control Y or Command Y. Okay? Kasi may napindot lang yan. Control Y, siguro sila doon sa nila, keyboard. Biglang nawala. Kahit anong apply mo ng kulay, guys, wala, you won't see anything. Pero if you switch to the normal view, then you get those attributes also displaying back on screen. Okay? So how do you know which view you are? No? Yan yung mga troubleshooting namin noon back in my Adobe days. So outline. You'll also see what kind of preview you have displaying on the document tab. No? It will show you outline. Okay. Now, what is the purpose? What do you think is the reason why it's there? Noy, why do you think it's even there?
No idea, ma'am. Sorry.
Call a friend. Call a friend, Noy. Maghanap ka ng classmate.
Help!
Help you. Name a person. Sige, go. Call a friend.
Random, ma'am, kahit sino. Ikaw na lang bahala.
Natakot.
Pahamak ako.
Okay, Enzo, what about you? Try. Why do you even think it's there?
Because what matters is on the inside.
Ang cheesy ng sagot, nakakainis.
Tama ba?
Maylord! Hindi rin. Maylord!
Yun sa ano po, yung sa Control Y.
Bakit? Anong purpose? What is the purpose of having two types of previews at least?
Para po makita kung ano yung naging process or yung ano yung process na ginawa.
Yeah, the process of the basic shape, no? The raw shape, no? Another thing kasi guys, when it comes to
Can I try?
Sige, go.
Hindi kaya, sorry, try ko lang. Hindi, we see that kasi yun yung vector path para alam mo yung shape ng vector when you reshape it. Is that what it is?
Yeah. But the number, yeah, pwede rin. Pero actually, para hindi na tayo tumagal, sasabihin ko na. So, the reason why it's there is because when it comes to fill and stroke, guys, it's not all the time na meron kang kulay. Okay? A shape can have no colors in Illustrator, but it's there. So if you switch to outline, you get to see if there are unwanted paths there. Okay, so yan. Okay, I'm on a normal preview. You don't see. You wouldn't even know it's there unless you switch to outline preview. So you have a raw shape there. You have a path. Okay? Why is...
Miss
So,
Kat, di ba ito yung parang kanyari gumagawa ka ng PowerPoint tapos di mo na makita yung text mo or somewhere. So this is gonna help na you probably put something, hindi mo na makita, and this is gonna show, meron pala akong ginawa.
Yes.
And that's how you'll find it. Okay.
Yes. And this is very tricky, lalo na if you start building your artwork in Illustrator, okay? There will be occasions na when you move things around, especially if your mouse is sensitive, no, you may have mistakenly added a path and there's no color to it, so you wouldn't even know that it's there. Okay? So you would want to clean up your file. Okay? Bakit, no? Wait, so, ano namang, what's the purpose to clean it, no? What's the purpose of cleaning the file? If I print it, if I save it, it won't show naman. Diba? It won't show. That's the mindset most of the time. But actually, there are sophisticated printers that would detect a vector path without any colors. And it will appear. Okay? So, I've had that experience with a cheerleading merchandise company. I designed something, and then somehow I think I made some paths without any colors applied to them. And then when it got printed, there were unwanted lines na nag-appear na a bit gray. Okay? So I had to go back to my file switch to outline preview, and then remove those lines. Okay, so that's the point, no? Because you can create shapes without any applied colors to it. Okay, questions pa?
So primarily mas ay sorry, go ahead.
Like question lang, medyo weird. For example, if I have a low-end PC, would going at this mode help? Parang mas mabilis yung ano niya, yung panning niya.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a good point. Yes. Yes, Romel.
Yeah. So this is more of when you're cleaning up, pagtapos na yung job, and then before sending it para walang excess or walang extra na, hindi pala dapat kasama.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
And so one is removing unwanted paths, no? Two is in terms of editing complex shapes. Okay. So there will be times or up to I hope you get the chance that you get to that point where you have a lot of overlapping shapes. Okay, you have overlapping shapes, you have like at least 5 effects, no? When you do that, sometimes it distorts what is in front of you. Kumbaga, it's like an object that's wearing a mask, multiple masks, no? Based on the applied effects. It can be scribble, it can be blur, it can be whatever, no? Na it distorts everything. And you want to start editing that artwork. And it becomes so complex, it's a bit hard to select the path. Kasi you're editing points and paths. Okay, then switching to the outline preview would simplify that for you. Kasi here, as in lines lang. Hindi ka na you won't get distracted with all the colors, with all the effects, or over everything that's overlapping, no? If you have a lot of objects or elements in the artwork, it's easier for you to select that object. Because you're just looking at the raw part of the raw image. Then it's easier for you to start editing. Okay. So that's the point of...
Natuwa ko dun sa if you go to the A1 file tapos pag nag-outline, kitang-kita yung dami ng so it's nice.
Yes, correct. In Tour 1, you're talking about the Tour 1 file, right? Yeah. And then you'll also identify which is actually a picture, a raster, and then which ones are vector. Okay. Any other questions, guys? None? Okay. So, another thing that that's why I actually asked you to download the Tour 1 file now. So let's say you have 2 files open. Okay, so I have this already open. I'm also opening a second one. Okay, so this is the active file. So you'll see that it's highlighted and then ito is a bit grayed out. Ito yung second file. So it's tabbed. Okay, so the documents, so if you have multiple documents open, by default, this is how it's going to look like. So you have to click on the document tab to make that particular file active. All right. Now, there will be instances where you may find yourself, moving objects from one file to another. Then in that case, itong view na to doesn't make sense. Okay, it will make it difficult lang for you. So you would want to change the multiple document view. And to do that, you have to go here. Okay, so it's normally beside help. There's a drop-down menu. When you mouse over, it's called Arrange Documents. And here, it gives you a snapshot of how it would look like when you click on that button. Okay, so let's say ito, 2 up. Ayan. So, it will do this. I have 3 files open, so I'll try 3 up. Science siya. So then you can move things around. See? Okay, click drag ka lang ng click drag, yeah?
Parang Photoshop din.
Yes! Same din.
Mas magandang certificates ngayon
Oo nga.
Sorry.
Walang image.
Oo.
Dati walang image.
Oo.
Ay, kasi ako na yung gumawa niyan.
Kaya walang pangalan eh.
Ay, may Lord, may utang pa ako mga ano. And also, Christina, I still owe, I think, but you should receive na kasi I completed all the digital certificates for September classes. Okay. So, yun. Any questions, guys? Any questions? None? Okay. So, let me switch back to our classwork. All right. Okay. So, there's a table here. Sorry, I wasn't able to correct this, but it should be this one in the table. This is the viewing elements PDF file, no? This one you have to correct, no? It should be Y, no? Control Command Y. This is what we just demonstrated. All right. Okay. All right. Questions so far? None. All right. So our exercise is just I'll give you, okay, 8:49, no? So I'll just give you about 5 minutes, no? Just to try those things out, what I just demonstrated, okay? Try to open 2 files, no? 2 files, and then try to switch, no, from normal preview to outline preview, okay? What have we covered so far? We also tried yung Zoom tool and the hand tool. So try those things out. Okay. No need to share your screen, but I just want to give you this time to try it out. 5 minutes. Then let me know if you have questions. Okay. So let me... So try those things out. View, opening multiple documents. Try changing the previews. So view menu, outline, or GPU. What else do you need? So I'm typing it in the chat group para you have reference of the things that you would want to try. Okay, what else? The hand tool and the zoom tool. Zoom out, zoom in. Okay, and then try the use the selection tool. Okay. And then the drawing modes. Yan. Okay. 3 more minutes, and then just let me know, guys, if you have questions. Tapos, there is also an exercise for viewing elements. It's to try opening the viewing elements exercise instructions PDF file.
Hindi pala pwedeng copy yung chat. Yung chat text di pwede copy.
Oh, triple clicking. Ayan, sabi ni Tofi, may nakita siyang way to move the object outside. See? Triple clicking.
Hindi pala ma'am siya move outside.
Selection lang yata talaga.
Nagiging blue yung buong screen ko. Nagkaka-blue na border when I triple click the object. Ano ibig sabihin nun?
Let's see. Can you share your screen nga, Tofi? Can I see what you're describing?
Okay, ma'am. Wait. This one.
Nothing. It's just telling you, okay, you're inside the clip group. So it's just telling you na you have the star selected.
Yung ganito, ma'am.
Ayan, look at your this part na. Don't move yet Teka, let me annotate. Okay. So this one, look. You're busy. It's just telling you that you have the star selected within the clip group. That's it. But when you click outside, it's still inside, right?
Yes.
Still inside. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry about the dogs. Christine, are you good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think.
Grabe. May magnanakaw yata sa amin. Alright. Any questions so far, guys? None? Alright. Okay. So, an assignment for you guys, no? Because we're not doing this exercise, you'll do this offline. Okay. So please make sure you submit. Okay, under viewing elements. No? So what you should be seeing on your screen is my Google Classroom. No? So you've already done this, no? In first 5 minutes prior to the break. Again, this is Control Y to try it out. You've done that. So you'll do this lang. So create a new file. Okay. It has to be letter, portrait, and then in CMYK mode. Okay. And then you will try the drawing modes. So you'll have to come up with a rectangular shape. So ito yung quick introduction it's part of the quick introduction to drawing. So you'll have to use the rectangle tool, create a rectangle, and then draw 4 circles behind the rectangle shape. So again, may arrange naman. Pag nagkamali kayo, don't worry. Just be mindful lang of the stacking order. If you make a mistake, then use the arrange command. Okay, the arrange command. And you'll also see, this is how the stacking order should look like in the layers panel. Okay. And then save the file, name, and then underscore viewing, and then upload it in the Google Classroom. All right. Okay. Questions so far? None. So again, tomorrow, expect we will have a game. No? Point system tayo. Tomorrow, double jeopardy. At the first 15, hopefully it will just take 15 minutes for us. Okay. So now we'll move to layers. All right. So make sure that you have the layers exercise downloaded. Okay. Yeah. And it also has instructions now. It also has instructions. Okay. And also the PDF file. Okay. Open. All right. So we'll go through the layers. For those who are familiar with Photoshop, more or less, it's almost the same. Okay. So let me open the layer file. Oh. Mga binibenta ko. Wait lang. Okay. Ay, you don't have my ano pala. My... Let me share my Adobe Illustrator. Okay. So this is the file that you guys will be working on. No? So it's two parts. Okay. So we will talk about layers. Let me just move this up and then make sure that we have our layers open. Okay. Let me open a new file muna para plain tayo. Okay. Ayan. So, for my demonstration, I'll just use two artworks. Okay. Alright. So, when you first create a file, no, by default, you will only have layer 1. Okay, layer 1. Every time you create a shape, whether it's in the first artboard or the second artboard, it will never add another layer. Okay? So, in short, ang layers natin, manual yan na ina-add. Okay? So, you have to tell Illustrator that you want to add a layer. So, every time we create an object, no, regardless which artboard, it will always be on a single layer. Okay? And everything are considered or will be created as sub-layers of the main layer. Okay? Alright. So, ano tong I na to? Okay, it's toggle visibility. So, anong ginagawa nito? So, what does it do? If I have this here, what does it do? Tofi.
Mag-invisible yung mga objects.
Okay, so this basically is literally visibility of the layer. Okay, so if you click and then you don't see the eye, then it means na it's a hidden layer. Okay, so and then you click here, ayan. Okay, and then this one toggles lock. Okay, so kapag meron kang lock na icon here, then when you try to move it, it won't allow you. Okay, so you'll notice your cursor would look like this. So it means that you won't be able to edit it. Okay, either move or draw, you cannot because the layer is locked. Okay, so you can click on this again. Okay, para hindi na siya locked. Then you can start drawing again. Alright? Okay. What else do we need to know about the layers? Okay, so do you see this color? What color is this? Romel. What is it? It's color, this one.
Sorry, I was talking on mute. Blue?
Blue, right. So when yung blue na yan, it's an indicator. No? So when you have selection tools active, no, and then you click on an object, tingnan mo yung bounding box. This is called the bounding box. Okay, so it's blue. Okay, if we create another layer, it's red. Okay, so if I have this selected, naka-highlight tayo, no, and then I created another shape, it will go here and look at the bounding box. It's blue. It's red naman. So that also tells you that it's part of layer 2. Okay, so yun lang yung point ng colors na yan. Alright? Okay, what else do you need to know in the layers panel? So, when you have an object selected, okay, on top of the color, you also have this. Okay, so it indicates that there is a selected art, okay, or a selected object in that particular layer. Alright, so it's here. So, ito, wala. Because wala akong sinelect dito. Pero pag meron akong sinelect, okay, ayan na, nag-move siya. So, this indicates that there's a selected art or object in that particular layer. Okay? This arrow, okay, is just to help you collapse or expand the layer if there are elements under, in that layer. Okay? So, ayan siya. Alright. Now, what's nice about the layers is, for example, okay, okay. I don't know if you still remember how I created this shape, no? This one was created by a pen tool, okay? It is an uneven shape. So here, ang name niya is path, okay? This one is created with an ellipse shape. So take a look at this one. Ito. So ito ay ito. Okay? Because there is an indicator here that this is the actual object that is selected. Okay? So, so it's also created by the ellipse tool. Okay? So there's a lot of information also that would tell you what those objects are whenever you select objects. Okay? So let's say I have these 3 objects, and see, Enzo earlier was asking, is there a way to group artboards? Wala. Pero you can group objects. Okay? So let's say itong tatlo, I want to group them. Alright? So with the selection tool, I create a marquee. So click drag just to touch those 3 objects, no? Even partially. And that allows me to select all 3 objects. Okay? Now let's take a look at the layers. Alright? So in the layers, 1, 2, 3. No? So again, your layers panel will tell you which objects are selected. Okay? So I right click, and then there's an option that says group. Okay? So if I group them, okay, you won't see any change here kasi selected silang tatlo, no? But in your layers panel, look at this. It's group, no? So nag-move, right? And then you can further expand that group sublayer, and then it will show you another set of sublayers, which are basically the 3 objects that we have selected and grouped. Okay? Alright. Alright. Okay.
Question, ma'am.
Yes.
You can add or remove objects from that group, right? I think may command,
Yes.
pero you can physically do it then.
Physically? Physically.
Sorry, I mean, isa-isa tanggalin. Sorry. One by one. Click
Yeah.
and then remove. Oh.
Yes. So to do that, okay, be mindful where you're clicking. Okay. So for example, I click this, but ito pa rin yung selected, no? Ito pa rin yung selected. So make sure if you want to remove a particular sublayer or layer for that matter, no, you make sure that you click this circle kasi you're targeting that object. Okay, like that. See? And then you want to remove it, well, you can hit delete. Yun ang pinakamadali. Delete. Pero if you want to make use of the layers, then you can select this by clicking on this round thing and then click on the bin icon here. So delete selection. Okay, yeah. No. So you can also select this. Okay, if you click this, all right, balik natin. Click outside. So, if I click outside, selected to, okay, dito magka-create. Alright? But, if you select this, it only selects this particular shape. Right? But, because I'm selecting a sublayer. Okay? But if you click on the row that has a main layer, click this, then it selects everything that's under that particular layer, okay? And then I can click delete selection, right? And then it will try and confirm if you want to really delete the layer, the entire layer. Then you click on yes. All right, so it deletes na the entire layer. So you lose all the rest of the shapes, okay? All right, what else? All right, so you may also click. Kaya lang ito kasi iisa na lang. So, you will always need to have at least one layer that you can draw. So this won't work. No. But you can add another layer again by clicking here. Okay. And then create another set of shapes. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you want to duplicate, no, meron pa rin tayong copy paste. So, Control or Command C, no. You can also go here, edit. No, so under edit you have undo, cut, copy, paste in front, paste in back, paste in place, and if you have multiple artboards and you want to put in a logo, you can paste on all artboards. Yeah, so you have that option. Okay, so you can copy and paste. You may also select this one, and then you can click drag, no, to duplicate. okay, to duplicate that particular sublayer. All right, okay. Now here you can select you can create sublayers. No? So on top of creating a layer, main layer, pwede rin under a particular under a particular layer, you can click on this one that allows you to create a sublayer. Okay. Now, in terms of stacking order, you can do the same thing, no, as what you would normally do in Photoshop. So you can click drag, and it's the same as how the panels behave, no? Yung parang pag nagmo-move ka ng panel, no? If you're rearranging the panels, it highlights in blue. So same banana, click drag, and it highlights in which section it will move, okay? In which section, okay? Yeah. If it's like this, it moves to a stacking, it moves lang the stacking order, okay? So itong layer, for example, I want to move here under the ellipse, yeah. Pero if I want to move layer 4 to layer 2, no, iba na yung itsura niya. See? It highlights the entire row. Okay? So it means that it will go inside. Okay? Yan. Questions so far? None? Alright. So, yes. None?
Wait. Pag
Yes.
halimbawa magdo-draw ka, like doon ma'am sa layer, like halimbawa layer, sub-layer nung layer 3, yung ellipse, magdo-draw ka ulit. Magdo-draw ka dun sa isa-isang sa isang object pa. Like parang draw inside. Possible ba 'yan, ma'am?
So let's say itong ellipse, and then you want to draw inside
Yes, ma'am, correct.
the ellipse shape. Okay. Yes! Kasi it's object-based. Don't be so mindful about the layers. Ang purpose lang ng layers would be, well, stacking order at saka ano. But yeah, you can select the object. Let's say this one, no? So this one. So I want to create I want to make this a clipping mask. Okay. So I can click on, babalik pa rin tayo from what we have mentioned earlier. Select the object. You're telling Illustrator na I want to draw inside this object. Click on draw inside. Okay. And then click this tool, your drawing tool. Click drag. Okay. So it becomes a clip group. Okay. Kasi it's object-based. Okay.
Understand, yes, ma'am.
Ayan. So so mainly if we take a look at this, no, so far what we have discussed, okay, it's really to organize things. All right. Especially if you have a lot of images na or elements in your artwork in Illustrator, then you may want to, for example, if let's say this one, okay. So let's say this one is actually one set, no? It's a part of a logo, for example. Then you can rename it, okay? And to rename a layer, okay? So you can rename this as logo. You just double click on it, okay? Yeah, so you can double click on it. All right. If you're a bit OC in terms of how you organize things, then you can also change the color. No, so yung colors na to would allow you to it would serve as your indicator, no? So when it's highlighted or selected. Okay, so ayan. All right. Okay. All right. But in terms of applying effects, okay, unlike in Photoshop, it's layer based, right? So you select a layer and then apply a drop shadow. This one, again, in Illustrator, the way it behaves, it's object-based. So you select an object and then you can apply an effect, like the drop shadow, okay? So it's object-based, right? Layers is more for organizing your things your elements, no, your artwork, no, in a way that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions, guys? None. All right. So let's Hi. Why did I close that? All right. So here. Okay. So let me demonstrate this. No. So okay. So you have two parts. You have two artboards, no, showing in front of you, right? So this is one. There's two parts of this exercise. One is what you want to achieve is this, okay, using this. So what do we need to do? We need to rearrange, okay. And if we take a look at the layers, it's all here, okay. So just that's just fine. All right. Now on the second part of the exercise, what you want to do is try to organize all these elements. Okay, so your header should be this one, food, weather, activities, and also this menu icon here. All right, so that should be your header. So how do we do that? So we have to create, you may create a new layer. All right, and then try to move these elements. Okay, so I have all this selected, it's all here, right? So 1, 2, 3. Paano natin nalaman na those are the ones selected? How is it layers telling me?
Yeah, red dot.
Very good. Yes, those red dots. So those are indicators na those are the selected objects. Very good. So what I can do is drag all three down here. Okay? So that I can rename this as header. Yun lang ang gagawin nyo, guys. Alright? And then yung content should be the background. The content should be this. Just the text. Okay, so if I take a look at my layers, it's here. Okay, so I can create a new layer, move it here or here. Here. Alright, and then change this to content. Okay, and then all you have to do is drag it. No? So this exercise mainly allows you to get acclimated with or get familiar with layers. No? How the stacking order works, how do you drag and drop, no? And also how to rearrange. Okay? So, ayan yung etong exercise na to. This one, okay, ayan. Alright. Now, I want you to analyze it. Okay? Based on what we have talked about, guys. Okay? I don't need you to draw these parts. Okay? Now, how will you come up with this? What do you think you should do, step 1, to find all these elements? Kasi it's there.
Command Y.
Enzo.
Control Y.
Control Y! Yay! May natutunan tayo. So, Control Y, guys, it's there, oh? It's there. So, if it's there, it may have been behind, right? Behind the object, or it's just not visible. But in the purpose of this exercise, it's colored, pero it's there. Okay? So, what I can do is Control Y, and then what? What do I do? What do you think I should do next? I can use the selection tool and then select, let's say, this shape. Okay. Select this shape. Okay. And then right-click on it. You have to assume that it's behind. Kasi wala pa tayo sa coloring. Okay. So I right-click on the circle na naka-outline preview ako. Okay. And then bring to front. And then switch back. Oh, it's there, oh. So it's actually just behind. All right. So you keep on switching. Okay. So we're doing a progressive learning, guys. Building the skills up. Okay. So you do the same thing. No? So again, think about what we have learned so far. And you should be able to apply it. I want my students to really think about what you have learned so far. I'm not going to give you step-by-step instructions that much. Not all the time. Okay. So in terms of selection, just one trick, no, at least for those who have never used Illustrator, using the selection tool that allows you to select the object, diba? If you want to select multiple objects, then you may hold down Shift, okay, and then click on the multiple objects. Okay, right. Yan. And then right-click on it, and then arrange, and then bring to front. Okay, and then I can switch back ulit dun sa normal view, and then you get to see this, right? Okay. Now, that's the hard way. Sige, bibigyan ko na kayo ng tip, ha? Kasi baka wala tayong time. That's the hard way. What is the best, the easiest way? Because we already, we've already confirmed that all the small objects, the small parts, are behind this rectangle shape. What would be the easiest way to try and mimic this?
And the box to the back.
Correct! Okay. Ang laging demo ko kasi laging mga small parts na try ko i-move sa harap. Pero come to think of it, the easiest way is just move the rectangular box behind. Right? Okay? So, when it comes to Illustrator, guys, especially when you're starting, and the best practice, at least what I did, no, was try to copy things that I find in the internet. It requires a lot of thinking, okay? Because you need to understand what the Illustrator is capable of. And there's so many ways to do one thing, okay? So think of the easiest way or more efficient way. Or I cannot say it's common sense kasi sometimes talaga, hindi mo talaga maiisip na, mas madali nga pala yun, diba? So, yun. Okay? So, again, the idea here is you rearrange the stacking order. Okay? See how you can do that in a faster way. So, Enzo actually made a good point na you can just move the rectangular shape rather than moving the small elements, no, forward. Okay. And then the second part is all about grouping lang. Grouping, and then be mindful of the stacking order. Kasi sometimes, you may make a mistake lang in terms of the stacking order. Parang biglang nawala, pero actually nandun lang. Pero nasa likod lang, so kailangan maiharap. Okay? So this is the top part, ito yung bottom part. So laging ito yung nasa ilalim, ito yung nasa ibabaw. Okay? So that's the stacking order. Any questions, guys? No questions? Okay. So if there aren't any questions, I'll give you about 15 minutes, no, for this exercise. So it's 9:28, 17 minutes to be exact, para hindi tayo alanganin. So we'll go back to discussion ng 9:45. Okay. Please start sharing your screens. You may get some coffee or something. It shouldn't take really 15 minutes naman. Okay. Start sharing your screens. And while you guys are working on that, then let's have some music in the background.
Your video needs to grab attention.
There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. If you're selecting multiple objects, guys, again, the trick is select the selection tool and then hold down shift, tapos click on the multiple objects if you want. Tsaka be mindful what you're seeing in the layers panel. So sometimes nakagroup sila, sometimes hindi. You can also try just clicking on the dots para if you want to choose the objects. But better if it's from the artboard na you're selecting the objects. Okay.
These cats, I only see the boombox.
Oh. Oh, you're using 2019. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, could you try go file, please? File,
Sure.
go to the file menu and then
Mhm.
place.
Place.
Yeah, place.
Where's-
Sige,
Ano siya?
baba pa. There you go. And then look for that same file that you downloaded. There you go. Okay, then place. Sige, click anywhere. It's the same thing. Bakit ganon? Sorry, can I request control of your computer? There. Wait. Let me just try saving it first. Is this, do you have a folder on the desktop? This one? Can I save?
Yeah, desktop's fine. I can move it later.
Okay. This is one of the limitations na you get to experience if you are opening a later version.
Scott, need help.
So initially, I think you already you just have this, no? So you have to move to the next artboard, which is this, and then click OK. Or you can choose all.
I tried all, then it only just shows that one.
Doesn't work. Okay, so then it means that you just have to choose it like this. There.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Noy. Let me switch to your screen. Push. What's your questionnaire? Nakamute ka.
Select ko, Miss Kat, yung langan.
Isa lang din sa'yo. Kasi lower version yata. Ayan, tama yan. That's good. So what you need to do is move the, diba? You need to rearrange.
Ito.
Pero the best way to do it, like what Enzo suggested, was yung rectangle, you move it where? Front or back? Naka-clip ka. You have, yeah, I think you have a lower version, right? Wait. Let me request control. Let me request control lang of your computer. There, okay. So, I'll move your layers so I can, kita mo ba ako? Noy? Wait. Mag-move. Ayaw mag-move. Wait. Ito. Okay. Ito. So now look at this, no? I have this selected. Okay. I have ito. Sige. So now look at this. Okay. You have a lower version. What you opened, this file, it's actually it's a higher version than what you're using. Okay? So, nagkakaroon ng limitations yan. Look at what I did, no? Ano nakasulat dito sa layers mo? Look at this. Naka-clip group. Correct. So, kaya, hindi mo siya ma-move. Kasi naka-group siya. Alright? So, what you need to do is right-click and then release clipping mask. Kasi kailangan naka-expanded version siya dito. Okay? The only reason why you're experiencing that is because you have a lower version of Illustrator. Okay? So, ito yung one of the limitations. Okay? So, you have to click this. Release clipping mask. Ayan. Ayan na siya. Right click. Ayan. So, click outside like this. Okay. And then, you choose the rectangular shape. So, this time, it allows you to do it. Okay. Alright. So, I'll give up my remote control para I'll let you do that. Arrange. Ayan. Very good. Pero you're still missing the heart. So, you have to move it in front. Okay, good. Arrange. Front. Very good. Then switch back. There you go. Okay. Now, what I'm seeing on your screen, Noy, is just one part, no? So, wala ka pa dun sa second artboard. And it's not showing on your screen because, yun nga, that's a limitation. Okay? So, what I need you to do is save this file first. Add your name lang to the file name. Okay, good. Then just add your name there. Okay, good. Click OK. Ay, saan mo gusto ilagay? Yan, layer basic. I think okay na yan. Just click OK. And then just click OK again. Here. Alright, good. Now, I need you to open the original file. So, go File, Open. Open. Okay. And then, same file. Yan. Layer exercise. Open. Okay. Up, stop, move. Yan. That's the one. Okay. Click OK. Ayan. Alright. Good. Okay. And so, the reason why you're, okay. So, the reason why you're struggling with this is because take a look at your layers panel and what's selected. See, there's a word clip group.
Mhm.
But again, you shouldn't have experienced this, but because it's a later version, newer version kasi yung file mo, you have to right click on the object. So right click, hold on. Right click here. Right click here. Here. Okay, right click. Okay. Nakaano ka na? Wait lang. Naka-group siya. Pero bakit yun? Wait. Request ako ha. Control ulit.
Sure.
Alright. Okay. Look at this one. Nag-aano siya. Meron kang this is, okay. Ayun ungroup.
Mm.
Release clipping mask. It's a bit complex the way your lower version of Illustrator is interpreting the file. That's why. So if it doesn't work the way, or it doesn't behave the way you expect it to be, you have to be mindful of what it looks like, no? Here. Like ito. Ito yan clip group.
Huh.
Alright. So, ito. So we can start. Meron ka pa rin naka-clip group. Release. Ito. Easiest way. So, whenever you have like unwanted clip groups, ito. Release pala. Release.
Okay.
There. You have to clean it up. There you go. Ayan na. Yeah. There.
Okay.
There you go.
It was all grouped together, kaya I couldn't send it back.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Scott?
grouped and then there was a clipping mask. Yun. So, ano lang, this one. It's this one. But try to take a look at the options that you have here. Okay. Who's
Scott,
that?
ulit.
Si Noy? Okay.
Yes. Na-release ko na yung clipping mask, di ba, Miss Kat?
Yeah.
Ngayon, pag sinelect ko, dapat ganito ba? Tama?
Meron ka pa rin clipping group May clip group ka pa rin. Look at that. So here, so select mo yan, no? Ito. Let me annotate lang. Wait, real quick. So you have this selected. Very good. And then go here.
Yes.
And then look for release.
Tama?
Yeah. Yan. Ayan. And then, ito rin. Another one. Here. Ito, clip
Wait lang,
group.
hindi ko yata napindot. Tama ba?
Hindi, tama. Nag-group na lang siya So,
Okay.
ito pa. Itong clip group. And then, balik ka ulit doon. Ba't nawala? Select again that one. And then this one. Yan. And then release. There you go. Okay, so naka-group na lang. Okay na yan.
Thank you, thank you.
Start ka na ulit.
Mag-upgrade na nga ako. Mahirap sa buhay to eh.
Okay. Alright. Good, John. You're done? Very good. I'll stop your screen share. Okay. Ayan. Tofi, good. Good, good. I'll stop your screen share na rin. Alright. Enzo. Sorry, I just saw your message, Noy. Do you still need help? No na, di ba?
No,
Okay.
na, okay. Ma'am.
Okay. Alright. Christine, what version of Illustrator are you using?
I think it's the latest one.
It's the latest one. All right.
I'm still learning with this.
That's
Is that-
okay.
Sorry. Ulit.
Yes, yes.
Nawala ako. Pag nag-select ako, like yung header, paano na nga dito sa ano? So, isa-select ko siya, tama? Ganyan?
Yes. Kaya lang, nasa-select mo lahat, no? So, what you need to do is be mindful lang when you create a marquee. Teka, request ako ng control. Request ako ng control ng
Yes,
computer mo. Alright. So, you may want to zoom in. Alright. Sobra naman. Okay. Alright. And then use the selection tool. Okay. So, you may want to naka-group pa rin. Andun natin. Naka-group pa rin kasi lahat na-select. So, you have to try and select ito. Food. Grabe naman itong grouping na to. Ito. Sige. Tuturuan lang kita ng something. Okay. Pag nakakainis na siya, Noy. Ang kailangan ko lang is ito, di ba? Ito, this one, all three buttons here. Okay, for your header, right? So you don't want everything else to be selected. So what you would want to do is select this section and then hold, Control 2. Control 2 or Command 2. Ayaw mangyari. Ayaw mag-work.
1, 2 sa akin.
Sige, try natin na. Again. Yan. Try mo nga, Noy. Control or Command 2. Ayan, okay. So, ang Control 2 or Command 2 is basically locking. Okay, nilalock mo yung selected object. Alright? So,
Okay.
ayan. Parang naglalag ka, Noy. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, ito. So, now you can select this objects. Okay? Kasi nilock mo to. Sige, try mo i-select. I'll give up control. Okay.
Yan. Layer. Nakagroup pa ba siya?
Okay. So, for you, nakagroup pa rin ba siya, Enzo? I'm looking at your screen eh. So, what are you trying to do?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
Wala na.
Scroll up.
It's finished.
Scroll up.
Yeah. Sorry.
Scroll up. Go on top. Okay. So, you don't get confused. I-collapse collapse mo muna yung layers mo. Collapse it. There you go. Okay. Now, all right. So, don't be too mindful about the layers, no? Layers are there. Importante is what you see on your artboard. So, create 4 layers first. 4 main layers. And then name them. Header, content, background, and footer.
Okay, me.
Sige. Create muna. Ayan. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. You have 4 layers. Okay. All right. Now, I want you to be mindful of what you see on your artboard. Okay. So, if we are talking about the stacking order, where should your header be?
Top?
Yes, yan. Okay. And then, no, the background is the picture of the mountains. So, it should be at the bottom. Yan. 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 Diba? Kasi yung nasa likod mo is your background, Enzo. So, it should be at the bottom of your stacking order. Okay. Your header, content, yan. Tama na yan. Header, content, footer, and then background. Okay, good. Now, what you need to do next would be selecting the objects that should go inside each layer, right? So if you want the easiest route to do that is using your selection tool, select the particular elements that you need to put. Let's say you can start with the header. So it should be the activities.
Tama.
Whether sumama to. Ayan, yan. Activities with hold down shift and then weather and then hold down shift and then yung food, Nepal adventure guide, hold down shift. Okay, and then yeah. And then what you do is cut. Control or commands X. Cut. Ne.
Tama na. I did it.
Tama. Pero biting. Kulang pa. Okay. Wait, let me request control ha. But you can, make sure lang you practice, ayan, start na, no? Okay. Wait. Make sure you practice.